I'm already a millionaire in my mind. I don't see it yet, but I believe it now. In the same way a seed is called by its finished form, I'm accepting my divine inheritance as a child of God. I'm meant to have life and have it more abundantly. My treasure on earth shall correspond directly to the treasure in the heaven of my mind. Abundance is my birthright. Ashe, amen, and so it is. My name is Julian Gordon, and I'm author of Rich and Righteous: Spiritual Secrets to Mastering Money, Manifestation, and Your Mind. After becoming a multimillionaire through real estate investing, I was moved by God at the beginning of the pandemic to share my money mindset that allowed me to quit my job in January of 2009 at the bottom of the last recession and achieve full financial freedom. I own my mental real estate before I own any physical real estate. This book is like some of your favorites: Rich Dad, Poor Dad, As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich, and the Bible all in one. But the divine downloads and thoughts that are in here are 100% original and came for a 6-month period at the beginning of the pandemic. This book is normally $100 on Amazon if you went there right now, but I want to give you access to it for free by inviting you to our next reading group. Yes, the reading group is 100% free. Every weekday for 100 days straight, I'll be reading and discussing the 10 money commandments in the book that make money come to you in your life easily, more frequently, and abundantly. And it will take about 30 to 45 minutes as we read 3 to 5 pages per day until we finish the book and reprogram your mind around money. Why 100 days? Well, if you are 30 years old, you've lived for 10,950 days. And we have to deprogram and reprogram the negative, scarcity-based money mindset society has taught you. And I believe I can do that in just 1% of the time in about 100 days. I'm done with shelf help. You know, when you buy a book to change your life, but you never read it, it just sits on your bookshelf and collects a whole bunch of dust. We off that. When is the last time you had an author actually read their book to you out loud because they cared about you getting the information in your soul? I'm not just here to get this book in your hands. More importantly, I want to get it in your head and your heart, because that's where the real transformation occurs, in the conscious and the subconscious mind. As scripture says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is not the type of book that you just read once. To renew the subconscious mind requires repetition over and over and over. So if you joined us last time, I encourage you to join us again. I myself have read this book over 10 times already. So click the link to join our next reading group, and when you sign up, I'm going to give you the first 2 chapters of the book for absolutely free on what is money and abundance is your birthright, so that you can start your journey to a more abundant life today.
What's good, everybody? This is your boy Fabian, and welcome to another day of the reading of the Rich and Righteous, where we are reprogramming our minds to attract more money with a 100-day book reading challenge. If you're new and this is your first time tapping in, you have been chosen for a reason to come to this page. I welcome you. Once again, this is the 100-day challenge of the reading of the Rich and Righteous, where we are reprogramming our minds to attract more money. That's how we initially started. But for my return readers, you already know that this 100-day challenge and book reading has been more than about attracting more money. So right now we're on day 47. And we have been doing a great job of staying disciplined and committed, attending these readings every day. If you're new, by all means, go back and check out those previous readings on the YouTube page. We have a whole playlist there that you can get caught up on. You're not late, you're right on time. Just go ahead and check those previous readings out so you can get caught up. I have a link in the description section of the post, man. Go ahead and grab that link so you can get you a book. Make sure you like and subscribe to the page so you can get those alerts that are needed when we have our new readings, so you can be a part of that. Julian is going to go ahead and kick us off with the next reading. I just want to make sure that you guys like and subscribe so you can get those future alerts for additional readings. And please go back and check out those previous readings, man, and leave a takeaway in the comment section of the post. We want to know what you received out of the reading. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get started with day 47.
So our scripture for the day is John 4:37 through 38, and here's how it reads. Thus the saying, one sows and another reaps, is true. I sent you to reap what you have not worked for. Others have done the hard work, and you have reaped the benefit of their labor, right? So there's a lot of value in there in terms of who actually reaps the most. It's actually not the workers who reap the most, and it's expressing that. It's expressing that. It's not the workers who reap the most. It's actually people who are leaders, right? And you would think, oh, the hardest worker wins, and we've already dispelled that myth. If the hardest worker won, then day laborers who are picking your fruits all over the country, California, etc., they would be the wealthiest people in the world. And so the hardest worker does not win in this game. In fact, it's the person who hardly works or hardly works with their hands, hardly works with their body, and instead they do all the hard work with their mind. All right. So let's get into it. Page 323 at the top. The US dollar, many people didn't know this, but the US dollar is 75% cotton. The US dollar is 75% cotton, which means that most Americans are still picking cotton while working on the corporate plantation. Modern day slavery is mental and monetary, and it applies to all people. You have to overstand it so that you can stand over it. We aren't getting lynched, but we are getting loans. You pay tens of $1,000s for college, and you get a 10-cent piece of paper called a diploma. You buy a single family home, and you end up paying for the equivalent of 2 homes after interest, taxes, and insurance are applied. You make your employer millions while you get bi-weekly rations of flat cotton called money. There's nothing wrong with the job, as we discussed yesterday. I've had them too. There is something wrong with believing that is the way to wealth, unless you have a significant equity in the company you work for or are headed for a C-suite position. The key to freedom is owning assets and growing your equity, not just your hourly. What did Beyonce say? Pay me in equity, right? There are only 3 places to get money beyond an inheritance: the lottery, a lawsuit, or doing something illegal. Okay? There's only 3 places to get money, family. So this is not complex. I'm really trying to simplify it for you. You can get money from assets, customers, or an employer. Those are the 3 places to get money. I call this the ACE method. Most people only get money from an employer. Employer is singular because typically you can only have one employer at a time. I know during the pandemic when people were working from home, they had 2 jobs, right? Then they started tracking your mouse and stuff like that. And some people got caught up, right? And dismissed from both jobs promptly, okay? This is the paradigm of doing hard work for others and trading time for money. The next place to get money is directly from customers. This is where you are engaged in hard work for yourself and your customers. Learning how to fish for yourself is good, but if you're not careful, your customers may become your bosses. So now you go from having one boss to having all these customers who think they're your boss, right? So you got to be very careful with how you navigate that relationship, especially if you're going into consulting or coaching or some service-based business, okay? Your customers may become your bosses, and you will feel like you just created a job for yourself, right? So that's why I said self-employed is not quite entrepreneurship yet. The third place to get money is from assets. This usually requires a lot of unpaid work in the beginning, but over time, it requires the least amount of work while you get paid indefinitely, right? So we talked about how to acquire more assets in 6 ways, right? You can be it, right? You can buy it, you can build it, you can bust your butt for it, you can barter it, right? We talked about those different ways, right? So, or you can borrow. For example, I've spent over a decade mastering financial spirituality, which is what this book is all about. By putting in my 10,000 hours in about a year to write this book, this intellectual property or asset will pay me forever. So I did something once. I created an asset once. Okay. Now it did require my study of money and spirituality, right? My 10,000 hours plus the time to write the book. But now that I've done it, this book will be here forever. In the same way that Think and Grow Rich sells today, even though Napoleon Hill is not here, the same way that Rich Dad Poor Dad sells, even though Robert Kiyosaki isn't actively promoting it today, I expect that to occur for Rich and Righteous, right? So I created an asset. I did something once that has the capacity and potential to pay me forever. The goal is always to get from E to A in the framework, okay? ACE, A-C-E. We're always trying to get from E to A. You can build or buy your way to get from one stage to the next. Below is a chart of the various types of revenue streams offered in each option. So typically when we're talking about an employer, hard work for others, that's salary, 401k, and pension. That's typically how an employer will pay you, okay? Now you use that money to build or buy a customer base. So customers are hard work for self and others. So cash from businesses you run directly, affiliate advertisers to help others get customers. And I've given you all the opportunity, all of you who purchased the book, I've given you the opportunity to be an affiliate so that you can actually go help get more customers or expand our community, right? Or you can take your money from your employment and just go buy or build assets. So this is the least amount of work. So that's multifamily real estate or income property, rental property, digital products, right? Stocks and bonds, savings interest, which is not that much, right? Or a business you own but don't directly work in daily, right? That's a true asset, right? So many people have difficulty reaping or receiving things they have not sown, but it happens all of the time. Consider all the things you did not sow that were already here for you to enjoy when you, like land, oxygen, your body, your imagination, the sun, nature, your parents, the roads you drive on, the home you live in, the internet, electricity, and language. We are in a natural state of abundance. Okay, I just want you to sit with that. Think about all the things that were already here before you got here. You didn't have to come here and just build everything from scratch. You are in a state of abundance because if you see how much was already in place for you when you arrived. Yet some people are still in the mindset that you reap exactly what you sow. Though John 4:38 says, I sent you to reap what you have not worked for. You didn't create the earth. You didn't create the supply chain, right? You didn't plant that apple. You didn't manage that orchard, yet you were able to reap of the benefits of it. Others have done the hard work and you have reaped the benefits of their labor. Let's look at this from an economic standpoint. Employees do not reap what they've sown. Even if you generate $1 million in sales, they still get the same salary. The entrepreneur or investor is reaping what they did not sow. When you are self-employed, it balances out more and you are reaping according to what you sown. But when you become an entrepreneur or investor, you reap what you have not sown by having your assets work for you. This is the place where exponential growth can occur. Employees and the self-employed can only yield linear growth because they are trading time for money. There are steps to get from one form of getting money to the other, and we will go through them now. So step one is learn how to earn money through an employer, okay? This is skilled labor. Whether it is blue collar or white collar, it is still a collar. Whether it is blue collar or white collar, it is still a collar. This is why I don't wear ties, family. This is why I wear collarless shirts, because I literally do not believe in collars. Seriously, right? Because a tie, if you flip a tie upward, what is it? It becomes a noose really quickly, right? What is the purpose of a tie? What does it really do for the outfit? Except to remind you that you're on a leash, okay? Skilled labor is just above indentured servitude, which is one step up from slavery. With skilled labor, you trade time for money to collect more cotton for your master. No matter how much cotton you collect, you don't get paid anymore since your master pays you for your time and not your production. Your skills may make the job easier for you, but it doesn't make it any more lucrative. In fact, because you are so skilled, you end up doing more work than most people. They say if you want something done, give it to a busy person. You could earn more with your skills elsewhere or on your own if you knew how to market yourself, but comfort causes many to stay at this level. You earn money while others make it off of your back. You earn money while others make it off of your back. So that is step one. Step two is learn how to make money from customers, not from just an employer through a salary, right, or hourly work, but you start to learn how to make money from customers yourself. This is the self-employed and owner-operating entrepreneurs. You have stepped off the corporate plantation and figured out how to gather cotton yourself. Though you are still trading time for money, you have more autonomy and freedom. There is no slave driver or brown nosing or house Negroes looking over your shoulder. You get to be you and do you. And over time, you can develop a real asset that grows beyond you as your systems improve. This position is empowering and you feel independent. You don't have to rely on someone or something else of your need. If you're not careful, though, you can find yourself working more than before and burned out because you are wearing every hat in your business and it all falls on you. There's a difference between working in your business and working on your business. As chief everything officer, you've gone from having a job with an employer to having several jobs in your own company. The goal is to become chief executive officer, where you run the business and it doesn't run you. So in the same way we talk about the conscious mind having executive authority or power over the subconscious mind, which is actually more powerful, right? The subconscious mind processes 40 million bits of information per second. The conscious mind only processes 40 bits of information per second. The subconscious mind runs 95% of our life. The conscious mind only dictates about 5% of our life. And so when you truly executive officer, you are empowering and guiding and directing and watching over your business, the systems, the people, the processes, right? That becomes your work. Your work is less of a to-do list item and more of a overseeing guard inner type of work. And those to-do lists look a lot different, okay? Systems and sales is a critical step in this transition. Systems take you out of the business and allow you to hire people. Sales is the lifeblood of a successful business. If sales feels sleazy, it feels like a sleazy word to you, I invite you to try my definition. So here's how I define sales, and this is really what opened up the floodgates for me when I changed my relationship and definition to what sales actually means, okay? Sales is simply the process of getting someone to accept help. Sales is simply the process of getting someone to accept help. You are being selfish when you don't share and sell. If you know that someone's life will be better off because of your presence, product, or service, then you have a moral obligation to sell them what you have because you will help them get what they want faster, safer, and easier than if they were to go after it without you. So everybody type that. Sales is simply the process of getting someone to accept help. You're not trying to get over on someone. You're trying to help someone get over something that is blocking them in their life. You're not trying to persuade them, right? You're not trying to convince. There's no sleazy tactics. You're trying to invite them into a new possibility of themselves in their life, in whatever area of their life that they're looking to grow in, okay? So sales is simply the process of getting someone to accept help. Once that took root in my spirit, it opened me up to be able to be more comfortable on the microphone, on stages, on webinars, right? Invite people to buy the thing because I knew that the thing that I had would help them, right? So I have no shame of selling. Why? Because I really, not only do I believe in what I've created, the solutions I've created, I know they work. I know that I've helped over 850 people close on their first multifamily home. I know that Rich and Righteous is blessing people and leading to more abundance in their life than the $100 that the book cost, right? I know that for a fact. And so this is why I have no issues and no shame selling them what I have, because I know it actually works, okay? There's a difference though. Selling something that you don't know really works and just trying to sell to get the money and not caring if the customer gets the result, there is a moral issue there. There is a moral issue there, okay? But if you know you have something that will help them get to their desired destination faster, safer, and easier, then you have a moral obligation to sell what you have, okay? And some of you are sitting on solution. You're sitting on knowledge and wisdom and processes and secrets that could bless many people, right? And you're literally robbing them of having a richer life, to have life and have it more abundantly. And as a result, you are not having life and having it more abundantly because you're sitting on the secret, all right? You're holding it to yourself. It's helping you in your life, but you're not willing to share it with other people, okay? This is part of what's blocking your abundance. Okay, step three, learn how to make money from assets. This is the investors and non-owner operating entrepreneurs. Non-owner operating, meaning that business runs without me showing up and it kicks off some flow of cash flow, okay? That's a non-owner operating business, an entrepreneur, okay? You likely have created a stockpile of cotton at this stage by having some cash, perhaps equity from steps 1 and 2. You realize that if you can grow this stockpile, the return on investment will be enough for you to stop trading time for money. So now you do not have to work for an employer. You can work still and make money still, but you don't have to work. Remember, we never work for money. Rather than having a stockpile after being on the corporate ladder for 40 plus years and watching it deplete year by year during retirement, you have learned how to keep it going and growing by investing in assets such as real estate, stocks, currencies, and businesses. You shifted entirely away from hourly work and now just seek to make your equity work, okay? I'm shifting away from hourly work and now I'm making my equity work. These are the 3 stages everyone must go through to escape the corporate plantation. You can either work hard for someone, work hard for yourself, or make things work hard for you. As you elevate, you will notice working hard to hardly working, yet money keeps flowing to you and through you. You don't have to wait until you have tons of cotton saved up to start investing. You can invest in yourself, your ideas, real estate, or stocks right now. All right. So that is the ACE framework. And many of you are, I would say, are probably here and you want to work your way here from E to A. Even entrepreneurs who are getting customers, right, and working for customers, even their goal is to get from here to here, right? So this is the goal. These are the only three ways to get money: through an employer, through customers, or through assets working hard for you, right? So that is the name of the game. And so that's what we want to focus on and move towards assets working hard for us. Assets being real estate, rental real estate, non-owner operating businesses, stocks, other investments, digital products, etc. Right? That's ultimately what we want, and that's how we start to get to wealth. That's how we get out of the rat race in the time for money trap. All right. So with that, in chat, go ahead and type what was your greatest takeaway from that chapter.
All right. This concludes day 47. What are your takeaways? Today's title was How to Stop Picking Cotton. And Julian referred to money as cotton. One of my takeaways: the key to freedom is owning assets and growing your equity, not working hourly. We're picking cotton because we're working hourly, which is fine. But over time, you want to graduate from that process to stop picking cotton. Right now, you're picking cotton because you're working hourly, but you do not have to do that the rest of your life. There are three ways to make money: money from your employer, money from customers, and money from assets. And he discussed what he calls the ACE method. That's going to allow you to eventually stop picking cotton. Right now, everybody is probably in the employer section of making money. But over time, you want to start developing some customers, and then money from customers, move it to assets. He talked about using your job and the skills that you have there to acquire customers. There's a skill there that you have that you can, in turn, use your gifts, knowledge, and experience to help others. Start selling yourself to acquire you a customer base. There's something that you know that works, and people need the help from you because you know that. And you need to start learning how to sell yourself so you can acquire that customer base. That customer base is going to eventually turn into cash flow. And then you move that cash flow over to assets that start paying you without your time and effort. Those were my takeaways. Make sure I get your takeaways because I would like to know, what did you receive out of the reading? And your fellow book members would like to know as well. If you're new and you do not have the book, there's a link in the description section. Go ahead and click that link, man, and grab your book. Even after this challenge is complete, that book is going to be valuable to you. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the page so you can receive future alerts on the next reading that we have available. And lastly, but not least, make sure you go back and check out the previous readings, man. We're on day 47. So that lets you know that there are 46 days of content on reading this book. We have been doing a phenomenal job of staying disciplined every day. So definitely go back and check that out, man. Day 47 is officially in the books. I will see you guys on the next read. Salute.